4 years and 7 months. That's exactly how long it takes to pay off a $265,000 bowling alley investment. But here's what the industry doesn't want you to know. The secret isn't in the bowling revenue. Today we're diving deep into the real numbers behind a 6-lane boutique bowling center, and what we discovered will shock you. Let me paint you a picture that will change everything you think you know about bowling alley investments. Meet Sarah Chen, a 34-year-old entrepreneur from suburban Denver who just purchased a failing 6-lane bowling alley for exactly $265,000. The previous owner was losing money hand over fist, but Sarah saw something nobody else did. Here's the breakdown that makes this investment fascinating. The $265,000 purchase price included the building lease, 6 fully operational lanes, automatic scoring systems, shoe rental inventory, and all the bowling balls. But here's where it gets interesting. Industry data shows the average bowling alley generates $36,750 per lane annually. That would put Sarah's 6-lane operation at roughly $220,500 per year. But wait, there's a massive problem with that calculation. Those industry averages include massive 24-lane entertainment complexes that skew the numbers. The reality for a small 6-lane operation is completely different. Let me show you Sarah's actual first-year numbers. Lane rental revenue averaged $18 per hour during peak times and $12 during off-peak. With 6 lanes operating an average of 8 hours per day, that's 48 lane hours daily. Assuming 60% occupancy during peak hours and 40% during off-peak, the math gets brutal. Peak hours, 4 hours daily at 60% occupancy equals 14.4 lane hours at $18. That's $259 per day from peak bowling. Off-peak, 4 hours daily at 40% occupancy equals 9.6 lane hours at $12. Another $115 per day from off-peak bowling. Total daily bowling revenue? Just $374. Multiply by 365 days and you get $136,510 per lane annually. That would put Sarah's 6-lane operation at roughly $220,500 per year. But wait, there's a massive problem with that calculation. Those industry averages include massive 24-lane entertainment complexes that skew the numbers. The reality for a small 6-lane operation is completely different. Let me show you Sarah's actual first-year numbers. Lane rental revenue averaged $18 per hour during peak times and $12 during off-peak. With 6 lanes operating an average of 8 hours per day, that's 48 lane hours daily. Assuming 60% occupancy during peak hours and 40% during off-peak, the math gets brutal. Peak hours, 4 hours daily at 60% occupancy equals 14.4 lane hours at $18. That's $259 per day from peak bowling. Off-peak, 4 hours daily at 40% occupancy equals 9.6 lane hours at $12. Another $115 per day from off-peak bowling. Total daily bowling revenue? Just $374. Multiply by 365 days and you get $136,510. And to again $274 for liability and property coverage, staff costs are her biggest expense at $12,000 monthly for part-time employees. Total monthly fixed costs $18,950. Annual fixed costs $220,400. Now here's where the numbers start revealing the truth. With conservative revenue of $409,530 and fixed costs of $227,400, Sarah's gross operating income sits at $182,130. But we haven't factored in her food and beverage costs yet. Assuming food and drink sales of $273,020 annually with combined costs of 25%, that's $68,255 in direct costs. Her actual net operating income becomes $113,875. This is where the 4-year 7-month payback period comes from. $265,000 divided by $113,875 equals 2.33 years to break even operationally. But Sarah has to service debt, maintain equipment, and handle unexpected repairs. Add those factors and you get the real-world payback of 4 years and 7 months. But here's the kicker that makes this investment brilliant. Sarah's not just running a bowling alley, she's operating a neighborhood hangout that happens to have bowling lanes. And that distinction is about to make her very wealthy. Now let's dive into the hidden costs that destroy most bowling alley investments. The numbers I'm about to show you will make you understand why 75% of new bowling ventures fail within their first 3 years. Sarah's real education began in month 2, when her first major equipment breakdown hit. One of her pin-setting machines suddenly started jamming every 3rd frame. The repair bill? $3,400. And that was just the beginning. Here's what the industry doesn't tell you about equipment maintenance. Each bowling lane requires approximately $2,200 in annual maintenance costs. For Sarah's 6-lane operation, that's $13,200 yearly just to keep the lanes functional. But the pin-setting machines are the real money pit. Traditional pin setters break down an average of 6.2 times per year. Each breakdown costs between $800 and $2,100 to fix. Sarah's 6 machines generated $47,000 in repair costs during her first 3 years. That's $15,667 annually in unexpected maintenance. But here's where Sarah got smart. In year 2, she invested $48,000 to replace her old pin setters with modern string pin setters. These newer machines break down 70% less frequently and use 40% less electricity. Her maintenance costs dropped to just $6,200 annually. The $48,000 upgrade paid for itself in 18 months through reduced repairs and lower utility bills. Let's talk about another cost nobody mentions: bowling pins. Each pin costs $8.50 to replace, and Sarah goes through approximately 1,200 pins per year. That's $10,200 annually just for pins. Why so many? Pins crack, split, and wear out from constant impact. Plus, customers occasionally steal them as souvenirs. Bowling shoes present another ongoing expense. Sarah maintains an inventory of 200 pairs ranging from size 6 to size 15. Quality rental shoes cost $40 per pair wholesale. She replaces about 60 pairs annually due to theft, wear, and mysterious disappearances. Annual shoe replacement costs $2,400. But here's a cost that shocked even Sarah: lane oil. Yes, bowling lanes require special oil for the balls to roll properly. Each lane needs re-oiling every 100 games, or roughly every 3 days. A gallon of lane oil costs $180, and Sarah uses 52 gallons annually. That's $9,360 per year just for lane oil. Now let's examine Sarah's labor costs in detail. She employs 4 part-time workers at $15 per hour, 2 work weekday shifts, 2 handle busy weekend periods. Total weekly hours, 80. Weekly payroll, $1,400. Annual payroll before benefits, $62,400. Add payroll taxes and workers' compensation, and her true labor cost hits $72,000 annually. But Sarah discovered something crucial about staffing. The previous owner was overstaffing during slow periods and understaffing during busy times. Sarah implemented dynamic scheduling based on actual customer patterns. She identified that Tuesdays and Wednesdays were consistently slow, requiring only 1 employee. Friday and Saturday nights needed all hands on deck. By optimizing her schedule, Sarah reduced her annual labor costs by $18,000 while actually improving customer service. Her new annual labor cost, $54,000. Here's another hidden expense that kills profitability: credit card processing fees. With 85% of customers paying by card, Sarah processes approximately $348,100 in card transactions annually. At 2.9% processing fees, that's $10,095 per year just for the privilege of accepting cards. Insurance costs vary dramatically based on location and coverage. Sarah's comprehensive policy covers general liability, property damage, liquor liability, and cybersecurity. Her annual premium, $11,400. But here's the kicker: she had 2 claims in year 1. A customer slipped on spilled beer, resulting in a $23,000 settlement. A kitchen grease fire caused $8,500 in damage. Her insurance covered both incidents, proving the coverage was essential. Let's talk about inventory beyond pins and shoes. Sarah stocks 180 house bowling balls ranging from 8 to 16 pounds. Each ball costs $35 and lasts approximately 4 years with proper maintenance. Annual ball replacement, $1,575. Food inventory requires careful management. Sarah maintains $4,200 in food inventory at any time. With weekly deliveries and 28% food costs, she turns inventory 18 times per year. But spoilage and waste add another 3% to her food costs. Effective food cost, 31% of food revenue. Beverage inventory is more profitable but requires significant upfront investment. Sarah stocks 15 beer varieties, 8 wines, and full bar liquor. Initial bar inventory, $8,500. Monthly restocking, $3,200. Beverage cost remains at 22% of sales due to excellent margins on popular items. Now here's where Sarah's strategy really pays off. She negotiated volume discounts with suppliers by committing to annual contracts. Her food supplier provides 8% discounts for guaranteed minimum orders. Her beverage distributor offers 12% discounts plus promotional support. These negotiations save her $14,600 annually. Marketing costs often get overlooked in initial projections. Sarah spends $1,900 monthly on advertising, $800 for Google ads targeting local searches, $600 for Facebook and Instagram promotion, $400 for local event sponsorships and community involvement. Annual marketing investment, $21,600. But here's the brilliant part. Sarah tracks every marketing dollar's return on investment. Her Google ads generate $4,200, monthly restocking $3,200. Beverage cost remains at 22% of sales due to excellent margins on popular items. Now here's where Sarah's strategy really pays off. She negotiated volume discounts with suppliers by committing to annual contracts. Her food supplier provides 8% discounts for guaranteed minimum orders. Her beverage distributor offers 12% discounts plus promotional support. These negotiations save her $14,600 annually. Marketing costs often get overlooked in initial projections. Sarah spends $1,800 monthly on advertising, $800 for Google Ads targeting local searches, $600 for Facebook and Instagram promotion, $400 for local event sponsorships and community involvement. Annual marketing investment, $21,600. But here's the brilliant part. Sarah tracks every marketing dollar's return on investment. Her Google Ads generate 4.200 cents in revenue for every dollar spent. Social media marketing returns $3.80 per dollar. Local sponsorships only return $2.10 per dollar but build crucial community relationships. The total picture of Sarah's annual operating costs looks like this. Fixed costs including rent, utilities, and insurance, $78,000. Labor costs, $54,000. Equipment maintenance, $6,200. Consumables including pins, shoes, balls, and oil, $23,535. Food and beverage costs, $84,636. Credit card fees, $10,095. Marketing, $21,600. Total annual operating costs, $278,066, with revenue of $409,530 and costs of $278,066, Sarah's net profit. Here's where Sarah's story becomes absolutely fascinating. While most bowling alley owners focus on getting more people to bowl, Sarah discovered the real goldmine was getting people to stay longer and spend more. The strategies I'm about to reveal increased her revenue by 89% in just 18 months. Sarah's first breakthrough came from analyzing her customer behavior patterns. She noticed that families with young children stayed an average of 2.1 hours but only bowled for 45 minutes. Corporate groups booked 2-hour sessions but finished bowling in 90 minutes. Date night couples stayed 2.5 hours but only bowled one game. The problem? Once people finished bowling, they left. Sarah was losing 60% of potential revenue by not capturing the post-bowling hangout time. Here's her million-dollar solution. Sarah redesigned her space to create what she calls bowling lounge zones. She removed 20 traditional hard plastic chairs and installed comfortable leather couches facing the lanes. She added cocktail tables with USB charging stations. She created a dedicated bar area separate from the lanes. The result? Average customer stay time increased from 2.1 hours to 3.4 hours. More importantly, post-bowling food and drink sales jumped 127%. But Sarah's real genius was in her pricing strategy. Instead of charging per game, she switched to hourly lane rentals with package deals. Basic package, $45 per hour for up to 6 people, includes shoe rental. Premium package, $65 per hour for up to 6 people, includes shoes plus $20 food credit per person. VIP package, $95 per hour for up to 6 people, includes shoes, $30 food credit per person, and priority lane selection. Here's why this pricing model is brilliant. Under the old per-game system, a group of 4 people might play 2 games each at $4.50 per game. Total bowling revenue, $36. Average time spent, 90 minutes. Revenue per hour, $24. Under Sarah's new hourly system, that same group pays $45 for the first hour and typically extends for a second hour. Total bowling revenue, $90. Plus, they're more likely to upgrade to premium packages for the food credits. If they choose the premium package for 2 hours, that's $130 in bowling revenue alone. But here's where it gets really interesting. Sarah discovered that customers who receive food credits through packages spend an additional 40% beyond their credit amount. A customer with a $20 food credit typically spends $28 total on food. This psychological trick of starting with credit makes customers more comfortable spending extra. Sarah's next breakthrough was implementing what she calls revenue maximization scheduling. She identified that peak demand occurs Friday 6 to 10 p.m., Saturday 2 to 10 p.m., and Sunday 1 to 6 p.m. During these peak times, she charges premium hourly rates. Friday nights, $75 per hour for basic package. Saturday primetime, $85 per hour for basic package. Sunday afternoons, $65 per hour for basic package. But here's the clever part. During slow periods, Tuesday through Thursday 2 to 6 p.m., Sarah offers happy hour bowling, $25 per hour for up to 4 people, shoes included, plus half-price appetizers and $3 draft beers. This strategy increased her off-peak revenue by 340%. Those previously dead afternoon hours now generate $480 daily instead of $140. Sarah's food menu transformation deserves its own case study. The previous owner served typical bowling alley fare, frozen pizza, nachos with plastic cheese, hot dogs. Sarah partnered with a local chef to create what she calls elevated comfort food: truffle mac and cheese, $14, gourmet sliders with hand-cut fries, $16, loaded nachos with house-made queso and pulled pork, $18, Korean barbecue wings, $13. The key insight? People will pay restaurant prices for restaurant-quality food, even in a bowling alley. Sarah's average food ticket increased from $8.50 to $24.75 per person. Her food revenue jumped from $87,000 annually to $198,000. But the beverage program is where Sarah really struck gold. She replaced the previous owner's basic beer selection with 15 craft beers from local breweries. She added a full cocktail menu featuring bowling-themed drinks: the Strike Bourbon, Ginger Beer, and Lime, $12. Spare Time Sangria House Red Wine with Fruit, $9. Perfect Game Martini Premium Vodka with Olive Juice, $14. Average beverage ticket increased from $6.25 to $18.50 per person. Annual beverage revenue grew from $75,000 to $178,000. Sarah's most innovative revenue stream came from corporate partnerships. She reached out to local businesses offering team-building packages. Basic corporate package, $35 per person for 2 hours of bowling, shoes, and lunch buffet. Premium corporate package, $55 per person for 3 hours, shoes, lunch buffet, and 2 drink tickets. Executive package, $85 per person for private lane rental, premium food, open bar, and team-building activities. Corporate bookings now represent 28% of Sarah's total revenue. She hosts an average of 12 corporate events monthly, generating $31,000 in additional revenue. Sarah also discovered the goldmine of birthday parties. She created dedicated party packages for kids and adults. Kids Birthday Special, $299 for up to 12 children, includes 2 hours bowling, shoes, pizza, cake, and party host. Adult Birthday VIP, $499 for up to 8 adults, includes 3 hours bowling, premium food platter, birthday cake, and bottle service. Party bookings average 18 per month, contributing $97,000 annually to revenue. But Sarah's masterstroke was implementing a loyalty program. Bowl Buddies membership costs $49 annually and provides unlimited shoe rentals, 15% discount on all food and beverages, priority booking for primetime slots, free birthday party host services, monthly member-only events. The program launched with 89 founding members. 18 months later, Sarah has 447 active members. Membership revenue $21,803 annually. But members spend an average of 85% more per visit than non-members. Total additional revenue from member spending, $156,000 annually. Sarah's league programs generate the steadiest revenue stream. She runs 6 different leagues throughout the week. Monday night mixed doubles, 24 teams, $45 per team per week, 36-week season. Tuesday senior league, 18 teams, $40 per team per week, 32-week season. Wednesday corporate league, 16 teams, $65 per team per week, 30-week season. Thursday women's league, 14 teams, $40 per team per week, 36-week season. Friday Youth League, 12 teams, $35 per team per week, 24-week season. Saturday Fun League, 20 teams, $50 per team per week, 30-week season. Total annual league revenue, $247,680. Leagues provide guaranteed income and fill otherwise slow periods. Plus, league bowlers spend additional money on food and drinks during their sessions. The transformation results speak for themselves. Year 1 revenue, $409,530. Year 2 revenue, $618,420. Year 3 revenue, $774,850. Sarah's total revenue increased by 89% through strategic optimization, not through spending more on advertising or expanding her physical space. But the most important number is her revised payback period. With Year 3 profit margins of 38%, Sarah's annual net profit reached $294,443. Her original $265,000 investment was fully recovered in exactly 2 years and 11 months. And that's still not the most impressive part of this story. Here's the part of Sarah's story that will completely change how you think about small business investments. After just 3 years of operation, Sarah received an offer that shocked everyone in the industry. Bowlero Corporation, the largest bowling chain in America with over 300 locations, offered to buy her 6-lane operation for $1.2 million. That's a 353% return on her original $265,000 investment. But Sarah said no. Here's why her decision was absolutely brilliant. Sarah realized she hadn't just built a bowling alley, she had created a proven business model that could be replicated. Her success metrics were so impressive that investors started approaching her about franchising opportunities. Let me show you the numbers that made Sarah's operation irresistible to buyers. Revenue per square foot, $242.2. Industry average for bowling centers, $89 per square foot. Sarah was generating 271% more revenue per square foot than typical bowling alleys. Customer lifetime value at Sarah's location, $347. Industry average, $128. Her loyalty program and experience optimization created customers worth 2.7 times more than industry standard. Annual profit margin, 38%. Industry average, 12 to 18%. Sarah's profit margins were more than double the industry standard. But here's the real kicker. Sarah's return on invested capital was 111% annually. That means every dollar she invested was generating 1.11 in profit every single year. Compare that to the S&P 500 average return of 10% annually. Sarah's bowling alley was outperforming the stock market by 1,010%. Instead of selling to Bowlero, Sarah made a different choice. She decided to franchise her model. Sarah's Strikes Entertainment was born. Her first franchise partner was Miguel Rodriguez in Phoenix, Arizona. Miguel invested $285,000 in an 8-lane operation using Sarah's exact playbook, location of former restaurant space in a busy shopping center, square footage 4,100, target demographic families and young professionals. Miguel's results using Sarah's system. Month 6, breaking even. Month 12, $52,000 monthly profit. Month 18, expansion to add 2 additional lanes. Payback period, 3 years, 2 months. The second franchise opened in Tampa, Florida. Lisa Patterson invested $310,000 in a 10-lane boutique bowling concept. She focused heavily on Sarah's corporate partnership model. Within 14 months, Lisa was hosting 28 corporate events monthly. Annual revenue, $890,000. Net profit margin, 41%. Payback period, 2 years, 8 months. But Sarah's most successful franchise is in Austin, Texas. David Kim invested $295,000 in a 7-lane operation with an expanded food menu. David added live music on weekends and craft cocktail competitions. His annual revenue hit $825,000 in year 2. Monthly profit, $89,000. David's payback period, 2 years, 3 months. Here's what makes Sarah's franchise model revolutionary. Traditional bowling alley franchises require $800,000 to $2 million investments. Sarah's model works with $265,000 to $350,000 depending on location size. Lower barrier to entry means more potential franchisees. Higher profit margins mean faster payback periods. Better unit economics create stronger franchise networks. Sarah now collects 6% royalty fees from her franchisees. With 8 locations operational and 12 more in development, her franchise royalties generate $387,000 annually. Plus, she earns $45,000 per location for initial setup consulting. Total franchise income, $927,000 annually. But the original Denver location continues growing. Year 4 revenue, $898,000. Year 4 net profit, $356,000. Sarah's original investment now generates $356,000 annually in passive income. That's a 134% annual return on her original investment. Let me put this in perspective. If Sarah had invested her original $265,000 in the stock market instead of the bowling alley, assuming a 10% annual return, she would have $388,578 after 4 years. Instead, her bowling alley investment is now worth over $1.5 million in business value. Plus, she's generating $356,000 in annual passive income. Plus, she's earning $927,000 annually from franchise operations. Total annual income from her original $265,000 investment, $1.28 million. That's a 483% annual return on investment. Here's the lesson that changes everything about small business investing. Sarah didn't just buy a bowling alley. She bought a cash-flowing asset and then optimized it into a scalable business model. The key wasn't the bowling industry. The key was finding an underperforming asset with optimization potential. Sarah's success came from 5 crucial factors. Understanding her real business wasn't bowling, it was entertainment and food service. Focusing on customer experience optimization rather than just cost-cutting. Creating multiple revenue streams instead of relying on single income sources. Building systems and processes that could be replicated. Thinking like an investor, not just a business owner. The bowling industry itself is experiencing a renaissance. Industry revenue grew from $3.8 billion to $4.8 billion between 2022 and 2024. The number of boutique bowling centers increased by 34% in the same period. Modern bowling centers focusing on experience over traditional league play are seeing 15 to 25% annual revenue growth. But here's what most investors miss. The opportunity isn't in building new bowling alleys. The opportunity is in buying underperforming existing locations and applying optimization strategies. Sarah's model works because she bought low and optimized high. Similar opportunities exist in other entertainment industries. Arcade centers, mini golf, laser tag, and family entertainment centers all have similar optimization potential. The key is finding assets with strong bones but poor operational execution. Sarah's current net worth from her original bowling alley investment, business valuation, $1.5 million. Franchise business value, $3.2 million. Total net worth from $265,000 investment, $4.7 million. That's a 1,774% return in just 4 years. The 4-year, 7-month payback period we started with, that was just the beginning of Sarah's wealth creation story. The real money came from treating her investment as a scalable business system instead of just a single location operation. So when someone asks you how long it takes to pay off a $265,000 bowling alley investment, the answer is still 4 years and 7 months. But the real question should be, what happens after you've paid it off? In Sarah's case, the answer is building a multi-million-dollar business empire. That's the power of thinking beyond payback periods and focusing on long-term wealth creation through optimized small business investments. The bowling alley was never the end goal. It was the vehicle for building something much bigger. and that's a lesson worth remembering for any investment opportunity you encounter.